Hello, my friends. We are here to learn about Punnett squares, okay? Punnett squares are used to how to predict traits, okay? So, and we use Punnett squares to do that. Okay, so what I want to show you is good old eye color. Okay, Punnett squares can work on multiple traits, but we're just going to do one just to give you a good example. Okay, so we're going to go. We got to learn some new words here too. Okay, so here's brown eyes. And in order for you to have brown eyes, you're going to have a big B and a big B. That's called your genotype, or a big B and a little b. In order to have blue eyes, your DNA has to be little b, little b. And how this is working, so we've introduced genotype, and we are, here we go. So genotype equals the letters. Okay, oh, you guys can't see that, silly me. Genotype is the letters that are being used. Okay, then we have a new word called phenotype. Phenotype is the outcome, the expressed trait. Okay, so word trait. Okay, so in this case, the genotype would be big B, big B, big B, little b, or little b, little b. And the phenotype would be brown eyes or blue eyes. Okay, so we're gonna say we have a person with blue eyes. Okay, and if they're gonna have blue eyes, they're gonna have to have little b, little b. And we're gonna learn a new keyword, okay? We're gonna learn about heterozygous and homozygous, okay? So the little b, those are the same, okay? That is gonna be homozygous. Homozygous. Same letters, okay? So that would be big B, or little b, little b. Okay, those are both homozygous because they're the same letters. Next, we have heterozygous. Hetero means different. Okay, and in this case, it's going to be big B, little b. Okay, so while we're here, we're gonna learn a few other little words. I'm gonna do that. Okay, we're gonna learn dominant. Okay, and it means the trait that takes over. Oops. Takes over. Okay, and dominant is expressed by the capital letter. Okay, and we have recessive, and that is the kind of hidden trait. And you're gonna need 2 lowercase letters to see that trait. Okay, when you have a dominant trait, you only need 1 letter. Only needs 1 letter. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Okay, we're gonna go up here. We're actually gonna do a Punnett square. So we have a person with blue eyes. In order for them to have blue eyes, they have to have these letters, okay? And next, we're going to predict the inheritance of their children, okay? And we're gonna make it a heterozygous for brown eyes, okay? Which means they have 1 big letter and 1 little letter, okay? So this is how we determine the traits that we put here, okay? So now this little b goes down into these 2 boxes, okay? Capital letters always go first. So I'm just gonna write them on that side, okay? This little b is gonna go down into these 2 boxes, okay? This big B is gonna go over. So here we go, we always put capitals first. And this little b is gonna go over like so. All right, so now we've determined, well, I'm telling you that brown eyes is dominant over blue eyes. So you'll only need 1 dominant letter to get brown eyes. So as we can see here, anyone with a big B is gonna have brown eyes. Anyone with a big B, little b is also gonna have brown eyes because this brown eyes is dominant. Okay, so this child would have brown eyes. This child would have brown eyes. This child would have blue eyes. And this child would have blue eyes. So how we determine our percentages, okay? So we want to know what percentage will have brown eyes. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna count how many boxes total. Okay, there's always 4 in this case. And we're gonna put that on the bottom. And how many of these boxes will have brown eyes? So I see 1, 2. So 2 out of 4 will have brown eyes. 2 out of 4 is 50%. Okay, so now let's go see how many are gonna have blue eyes. Okay, again, there are still 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. And how many of them are going to be blue eyes? 1 and 2. So 2 will have brown, 2 will have blue. 2 over 4 is 50%. Okay, so if this person, these 2 people got together, they're 25 and married and they made babies, their kids would have a 50% chance of having brown eyes and a 50% chance of having blue eyes. Okay, so this is, I just want to really point out this word. Okay, that's a prediction. Okay, we know that, I bet you There's some families where one parent has brown eyes, one parent has blue eyes, and they don't have a 50-50 ratio, okay? I just guarantee you that's out there. This is just a prediction, okay? So now let's talk about genotype while we have the letter, well, we're going to talk about all these again. Genotype are just the letters to represent the gene. Remember, you have one copy from your mom and one copy from your dad. That's all that this is indicating. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes you have the same genes, okay? That is called homozygous. Sometimes you have different genes from both your parents. That is called heterozygous. Okay, capital letters are dominant traits. Okay, you only need one to get the outcome. Okay, if you're going to have a recessive trait showing, you need both little letters in order to get that outcome, that phenotype. All right, go forth and do your assignment.